Hello friends, I Dr. Sarika Panwar welcome you all in video lecture series of 12th Computer Science of Maharashtra Board. We started with part 1 and chapter 3 C++ programming. In chapter 3 C++ programming, today we will discuss function call by value. In C++ function can be called in two ways. First way is call by value and second way is call by reference. So call by value is one of the ways to pass arguments to the functions in C++. We know that in C++ we can define the functions. Function is a module which can be called as and when required. Okay, and we can pass some parameters or an arguments to that function. So in call by value, a copy of actual variable is passed to the function. The function works on this copy, not on the original variable, and any changes made inside the function do not affect the actual data in main. So use call by value when you want to keep the original data safe from modifications. In this diagram we can see that actual variable is not passed. A copy of the actual variable is created and then it is passed as a parameter to the function. So a is a parameter, copy of which is created from the actual variable. This is the syntax how copy of the variable is passed as a parameter to this function. So this is the function name, this is its return type. Return type can be anything like void, integer, or it can be float, character. Then which parameter we are going to pass, its data type is also important. So data type of the parameter, and here we are passing the parameter, and this is the function body. We will discuss one example to understand call by value. This is compiler directive iostream #include iostream. Using namespace standard that we use because it is a standard for defining the cin and cout. So initially if we start with the main, so first we will define the main function, its return type is int as we do it in Dev Cpp. This is opening a curly bracket for the main. Here in the main what we are doing, we are declaring one integer variable. It is initialized at 20. That we can call the original variable. It is defined in main function. Now in cout we are displaying one message, that is before function call what will be the value of a. So that will just display the value of a on console. Now we are calling a function. The function name we have given is modify. Now here we are passing this variable, original variable in main, whose value is 20. So a we have passed. So it will pass a copy of a to the function modify. Okay, original variable is a is equal to 20 and its copy, while passing this variable, its copy will be created. Now as soon as we call this function, the control of the program will be here now at the function definition. So what is the name of the function? Modify. Its return type is void and we have passed a. Now when we pass this a, here it will come and it will go into num variable. Okay, now a is nothing but the num variable and its value is now 20. Okay, opening bracket for this modify function. Now what we are doing in modify, we are just updating the value of num, that is by 10. So num will be updated as num plus 10, that will be obviously 20. So now the copy of a, that is num, will be modified. Now we can display to check whether the value of num is modified or not inside the num. So what we did, we have displayed it by using cout. one message is displayed inside function and then num value, and close the function definition. So here with this closing bracket we are closing the function definition. Now once this function is executed, again the program control will come here, and now we have to check whether after returning back whether the value of a is modified by modify function or not. So for that we will again display the value of a in main program. So cout is equal to after function call display a. Okay, and what we can observe after return 0 close the main definition. Okay, so what we expect ki initially before the function call a is displayed as 20. We called the modify function, and in modify function we have displayed num, and here again after returning back we have displayed a. We have to check whether a has been modified by the modify function, whether it is 10 or 20. So that we will check in Dev Cpp. So here this is our code. Hash include iostream using namespace standard. This is our function definition. Okay, call by value. It's void modify int num. Num is equal to num plus 10. Cout inside function we will display the num value. Okay, now in main what we did, integer a is equal to 20. It's declared and initialized. Before function call we will check the value of a on console, and then we will call a modify function, and after calling the modify function we have to check whether a is modified or not. So again check it. Okay, so cout function after function call a endl, that is end line. So it is just endl is just to put the cursor on the next line and return 0. So we will execute this code. So compile and run. Okay, so see, before function call it was 20. Inside function call when value of num is displayed it is 30, and after function call it is 20. So what we can observe that here after calling this modify function the value of a is not changed. Okay, it is 20 only, but in this function the value of a that is passed as a parameter to num variable, it is modified. Now it's 20, but it is only for this copy of a. Copy of a is num, not for the a in main function. Now we will discuss one board example. This question is asked in HSC board exam. Write a program in C++ to accept two integer values in main function and pass them to function grade using call by value and find greater number. Function grade should not return any value. Okay, so that is the condition they have given. So we will discuss this code now. So initial two statements, hash include and using namespace standard. Okay, so first we will see the main. In main what we did, int main, num1 and num2, these two numbers are declared as an integer number. First we will accept the value of num1 from the user and store it num1 variable. Using cout display this message, enter the second number, user will enter the number that will be stored in num2. So after that we will call this function, the name of the function is grade, which will find the greater of these two numbers, but for finding greater of these two numbers we need to pass both of these numbers num1 and num2. Okay, so these two numbers are passed as a parameter to this function grade num1 and num2, but as we have discussed earlier that only copy of these variables will be passed as a parameter, not the original variable. So these variables are passed here. Its copy will be created in A and B. Okay, so void grade is a function definition of grade function, and two integer variables These are passed as a parameter, means copy of num1 and num2 will be created in A and B. So here this is the opening bracket for the function definition. Great. We are using if else statement to check for this condition. If A is greater than B, means copy of num1, if it is greater than copy of num2, then the message will be displayed that the greatest number is, and obviously it will be A because A is greater than B. If block is closed here. In else if, means if this condition is not true, the program control will come here. It will check whether B is greater than A. Then if it is true, then the message will be displayed, the greatest number is, and obviously it will be B. Okay, and if both of these conditions are not true, then the program control will come here in else block, and it will display the message that both the numbers are equal. Equal numbers will be A or B, the any you can display. After the execution of this function, it will return back here, and as the return type is void, it will not return anything to the main, and so it's return 0, and this is the function definition closing of main. So we will execute this code. So enter first number, that is suppose 67, enter second number if it is 8, then obviously it will display a message greatest number is 67. Okay, you can execute this code for equal number 78, 78, both numbers are equal. Okay, so this is the board question. It has been asked twice in board exam for 5 marks. So what is the summary of call by value? In call by value, a copy of actual variable is passed to the function. A copy is passed. जैसे हम जेरोक्स निकालते हैं किसी ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट का, वो अपने पास रखते हैं, किसी को कॉपी देनी है तो दैट वी गिव, ठीक है, जो भी चेंज करना है वो कॉपी में करो, ओरिजिनल तो हमारे पास है। वैसे ही ओरिजिनल वेरिएबल जो है वो मेन के पास रहता है, उसकी कॉपी क्रिएट करके हम फंक्शन को पास करते हैं। Okay, the function works on this copy, so original data remains unchanged. Useful when we do not want to modify the original variable. जैसे हमें कोई भी ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट सेफ रख के उसका फोटोकॉपी हम किसी को भी देते हैं, तो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वी डू, वी वांट टू मेक इट सेफ, वी वांट टू कीप इट सेफ, इसीलिए हम उसकी कॉपी बना के देते हैं, क्योंकि हमें ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट में कोई चेंज नहीं चाहिए। वैसे ही यहाँ पर हम अगर ओरिजिनल वेरिएबल जो मेन में है उसकी कॉपी अगर देते हैं फंक्शन को, तो जो भी चेंज करना है वो फंक्शन में होगा, ठीक है, और हमारा ओरिजिनल वेरिएबल सेफ रहेगा। ईच फंक्शन कॉल क्रिएट्स ए सेपरेट मेमोरी लोकेशन फॉर द पैरामीटर, ठीक है। फंक्शन कॉल को हम कॉपी दे रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो उस कॉपी के लिए वो ऑब्वियसली नई मेमोरी लोकेशन allocate करेगा। So ensure data safety and avoids the accidental changes. If you like the content of my channel, then please like and subscribe. Thank you so much, students.